Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 126 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we are talking about step 1 of the SOAP framework, which I should put back there, but my she shed sign is there, which stands for what's our story or our situation, specifically with respect to the financial area that we want to improve. We picked that yesterday. I hope you picked one. If you haven't, you still have time to pick it today and jump right into the SOAP framework to start fixing and improving this area of your finances once and for all, right? Once we start on a project and get a plan and start moving forward and taking action on it, we can solve anything. So today I'm going to share a story framework with you. It's a 10-step one, which is a lot for me. I usually like to keep things really simple, but I want to share this as one of the tools in your toolbox to use. And if you've ever heard of the hero's journey, still have the cough, it reminds me of that. So I will quick run through the 10 steps, then I'll give you one example, and I'll only do one today because I've been going so long. And then our challenge today is going to be to identify what is our current financial story and situation about this specific topic. Maybe it's you got too much credit card debt. It's such a common one. It's easy to use. And so you're going to tell the story, the current story of your credit card debt 1 through 10, and then your desired story about credit card debt. And you're making up a story, right? You're telling the actual story for current, but you're creating the story that you want for desired. So to me, that's the most fun part. It's pretty easy to knock out, okay, this is what's going on now. Usually we'll just do a paragraph, but I want to give you some more tools for creating stories because stories are such a powerful way to communicate with other people. Almost all of us can relate to a story of too much credit card debt or having a bad investment or not having, living paycheck to paycheck or not having enough money at the end of the month, etc. Remember my first job in college, I went from, being a college student and working on the side to just my new job out of college. And I got paid once a month. Once a month, I got paid. I was on salary. And so the money would go in the bank. And lo and behold, by about the third week of every month, I'd spent all my money because I wasn't budgeting. I wasn't doing the things I didn't know I needed to do yet in order to be successful and to be a successful adult. So I learned pretty quickly that I didn't like not having any money at the end of the month so I could go out with my friends or do something fun. So I started to plan and be a little bit wiser about that. So that was my current story back then. So all of us can relate to almost anything where it comes to especially financial struggles or challenges or stuff that comes up. All right, so what's this 10-step process? Step 1 is the character. Okay, well, that's always going to be you, right? The story's about you. Step 2 is the current struggle. What is the thing that you're struggling with? That's the problem. Step 3, the guide. Somebody's going to come along. Maybe it's me, maybe it's someone else who's going to help guide you into finding insights. A mentor or somebody's going to come along in the story. Step 4, the plan. What's your strategy and action, like using the SOAP framework, to handle this situation? Step 5, call to action. This is what's going to motivate you and keep you moving forward. Step 6, avoiding failure. What's at stake if you don't successfully change this financial area and aspect of your life? And then step 7 is achieving success, where it's the reward you want, which leads us into the current story, right? Step 7, I ran out of fingers. Oh no, step 8. Step 7 was success, the reward. Step 8 is transformation, meaning the shift. Guess what? Almost every problem or situation we find ourselves in requires us to have some sort of a mind shift or identity shift in order to solve that problem. If we could solve the problem with the same mindset and mentality we created it with, it wouldn't be a problem. We'd already have it taken care of. But since it is a struggle or a problem or a challenge for us because we're deciding what is, it means that we have to do something in order to change that. So the transformation, the shift happens. Then we adopt a new belief, step 9. And that's when we have an absolute positive breakthrough. 2, step 10, sharing the story to inspire others. How do we achieve this? How do we do this? So let's look at Sarah's story. She wants to go from surviving to thriving. And I'm going to grab a magnifying glass so I can actually see her story and what she's sharing. Character, Sarah, 34, single mother, working 2 part-time jobs. She's living paycheck to paycheck. So she's not only in debt, but she's living paycheck to paycheck. And she feels constantly overwhelmed by debt and uncertainty. The problem, her financial life is chaotic. Sarah has $12,000 in credit card debt, 0 savings, and no retirement plan. She wants stability, but doesn't know where to start. The guide enters. A friend introduced her to a personal financial podcast that recommends budgeting and tracking expenses. Good idea. Sarah begins to follow the financial education on YouTube and Instagram. The plan, step 4, she adopted a 50-30-20 budgeting rule, started using a budgeting app, and took on a weekend side hustle to create breathing room in her finances and to pay off some of that credit card debt. Step 5, call to action. Her son asked her, Mom, will we ever go on vacation? This and that emotional moment sparked her commitment to change. She's like, yeah, I want to take my kid on a vacation. All of his friends are going on vacation. She realized her why was to provide a better future for her son. Now that's very, very motivating. Step 6, avoiding failure. If Sarah didn't act, she risked deeper debt, poor credit, and emotional burnout. She knew staying stuck would eventually affect her health and her child's development. Very motivating again. Sometimes, and this is where we apply the carrot and the stick on ourselves as part of our story. 7, achieving success. Within a year, Sarah had paid off $8,000 in debt, built an emergency fund of $3,000, and began contributing to a Roth IRA. She felt empowered and in control of her finances for the first time in her life. Transformation, Sarah's mindset changed from scarcity to abundance. Again, there's always a mindset followed by a belief change. She no longer felt like a victim of her circumstances. She became the author of her own financial story. 9, the new belief was that she adopted was, I can manage money, I can build a future, I am capable. I love affirmations, and she says those to herself every day. And number 10, sharing a story. Sarah started a financial blog for single moms. Her journey inspired hundreds of women to reclaim their financial power. I really like this process. It's one of the this storytelling format. It's one of the most popular. I've learned it in marketing. I've learned it in business. I've learned it in personal development. I've learned it in a lot of different places and used it in a lot of different places. And I recommend, even though it's 10 steps, try it on and see how it makes you feel, like all of our other tools. So now you're going to do this for yourself. You're going to do these 10 steps. Character is you. Problem is a financial thing, your financial situation current. And then, so we're going to do this for where we are right now. And then we're going to actually create the story of where we want to be, because that creates the gap that we are filling with the rest of the SOAP framework. Any questions about this? Hit me up and ask. If you want me to put a write-up of this, at least the 10 steps in the comments below, just ask and I will send them to you, or put them in the comments below. Probably so everybody can see them. That's it. That's all I've got today. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. Have fun with this. This is both the facing what is and becoming aware, and creating what it is that you want and the story that you want your story to be. So this is the fun part of the process. All right. It's all fun. Have a great day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow. Bye.